Okay, picture this. A product team fine-tunes a marketing model on a customer's dataset to boost personalization. A few months after launch, a user prompt produces a long passage that turns out to be copyrighted third-party text that had been embedded in that customer data. The customer gets a takedown notice, asks for a refund, and suddenly your sales team is fielding angry buyer calls. The model was helping revenue, but it also created a legal mess nobody scoped. That's the micro case we're unpacking today.
That scenario is more common than people realize. The team did a reasonable thing, use available data to improve outcomes. But without provenance and clear reuse rights, you end up with ownership, consent, and warranty questions that pop up later. It's a slow fuse.
And operationally, once a model has absorbed those bits, you can't just unlearn them easily. Models bake in patterns, so even if you remove the original dataset, the risk can live on in the model weights, unless you plan for containment from the start.
Quick setup. What are we naming as the failure mode? Jessica, can you give us a plain English definition so leaders can spot it?
Sure. The failure mode looks like this. Teams ingest third-party or customer data without a reliable record of where it came from, who gave permission, and what reuse was allowed. That gap creates 3 linked exposures: implied ownership of derived models, insufficient consent for reuse, and warranty risk when model outputs contain or reproduce protected or confidential material.
All right, revenue lens time. Let's quantify what this actually costs. Imagine a mid-sized B2B SaaS company. A takedown plus a refund demand from a big customer, plus churn from nervous buyers, plus urgent engineering rework. Jessica, can I throw some conservative numbers at you and you tell me if I'm in the right ballpark?
Go ahead. Numbers always help frame risk in business terms.
Conservative scenario. One large customer asks for a refund equal to a quarter of their annual contract, say $50K. Engineering spends 2 weeks on containment and fix at a blended cost of $30K. Sales and customer success spend another $10K in diverted time. Then add reputational churn. 1 or 2 upsell deals stall. Call it another $40K in delayed revenue. That's already north of $130K, and we haven't priced potential legal fees or a formal takedown settlement.
Those are sensible, conservative placeholders. The legal fees can be modest at first, or spike quickly if claims multiply. From a counsel perspective, the important business signals are how many customers were in impacted datasets, what the consent language looked like, and whether your contract said anything about models or IP at all. Those 3 things drive whether the exposure is a small remediation or a contractual crisis.
So, prioritization heuristics. What datasets do you freeze first if you need to buy time? My rule, freeze datasets that are high volume, contain third-party or scraped content, or are tied to high-value customers. Freezing means stop using them for further training and mark them as high risk in your inventory. It's not deletion, it's containment while you triage.
Good. Jessica, for leaders who aren't lawyers, give us plain English flags to add to intake and contracting so we have something to act on immediately.
Plain English flags. Who uploaded the data and did they have rights to give it? Capture uploader identity and a consent reference. What reuse are you asking for? Limit it to the specific model, the project, and a defined time window. Deliverables? Say whether you're delivering a model, predictions, or extracts, and whether those deliverables carry any warranty. Indemnity. Be careful. Broad indemnities can expose you to third-party IP claims. Prefer narrow commitments tied to your deliverables and proven misuse. We include conservative template snippets in the safety kit labeled Not Legal Advice. Use them to start the conversation with counsel.
Technically, you can support those legal flags with minimal provenance capture. At intake capture, dataset ID, uploader identity or service account, timestamp, source pointer, and a consent token, or hash of the consent text. Store an immutable export snapshot. Don't rewrite over it. For experiments, run a synthetic data pilot before you switch a production model to customer-trained weights. Also add feature flags in QA gates so you can roll back a model quickly if hallucinations surface.
I want to pause on synthetic pilots. Explain why a quick synthetic substitute helps business teams who fear loss of product velocity.
Synthetic pilots let you validate model behavior without exposing original customer facts. You mimic the distribution of data while stripping identifiable or third-party content. If the synthetic model behaves similarly, you get confidence in product improvements without the provenance baggage. If it doesn't, you've learned that the original dataset contained risky signal and can contain it before wider rollout.
Okay, now the 30-day containment sprint. Jessica, Eddie, let's do week by week. Week 1?
Week 1. Inventory. Pull a list of all training runs in the last 6 months and map them to datasets and customers. Capture minimal provenance fields only: uploader, dataset ID, timestamp, and a consent token or hash. Do not start deleting logs. Preserve them in immutable form. That preserves evidence without escalating privacy risk.
Week 2. Pilot a synthetic substitute for the highest risk model you identified. Run deterministic QA gates comparing outputs and log divergence metrics. If divergence is low, that's a path to safe replacement. If divergence is high, flog the model for conservative rollout and add feature flags so you can isolate it from sensitive customer segments.
Week 3?
Week 3. Add acceptance language. For models with customer-supplied training data, add conservative client acceptance text to new contracts or renewals. Plain language that says the client acknowledges the dataset they provided and the scope of reuse, and that you'll work with them on any takedown notifications. Put any material red lines before counsel.
Week 4. Broaden controls and rehearse rollback. Expand provenance capture for new ingests. Lock new datasets behind a gated intake process and rehearse a rollback drill. Restore the immutable snapshot and switch feature flags to the safe model. If teams practice the drill, reaction time and customer communications will be far quicker.
Panel triage. Let's pick 3 dataset sources you should inventory this week and assign owners with exact outreach scripts. Jessica, Eddie, quick hips.
Top 3 sources. 1. Customer uploads or integrations tied to high-value accounts. 2. Third-party scraped or licensed datasets used in any training. 3. Internal QA or support transcripts that might contain third-party material. Owner assignment. Product Ops owns customer uploads, Legal owns third-party license checks, and Support Leadership owns transcripts. Outreach script for Product Ops. Say, "Hi, we're doing a short audit of datasets used in recent model training. Please send the dataset ID, uploader name, upload timestamp, and any consent text or pointer. This is to ensure we have safe reuse records while we run a quick synthetic pilot."
For the tech owner outreach, we need a snapshot of the dataset and the associated run IDs. Please include storage path, checksum, and any linked consent token. We'll capture an immutable export for evidence and then run a synthetic pilot, no deletion involved. Those 2 scripts get you what you need fast without triggering defensive reactions.
5 immediate quick wins before you leave your desk today. 1. Tag all recent training runs with a risk label. 2. Capture minimal provenance for any new ingests. 3. Add a temporary feature flag to isolate risky models. 4. Put conservative acceptance language into the next client renewal. 5. Go to hiddenbusinessrisk.com and download the Training Data Safety Kit and the 30-day sprint checklist to share with your teams.
One last caveat. These are practical risk reductions, not legal advice. For any material contract changes, cross-border data uses, or if litigation seems possible, consult your counsel. The safety kit includes plain English templates labeled "not legal advice" for exactly that reason.
And technically, if you need help capturing immutable exports or implementing a rollback gate quickly, involve your security and platform teams early. Don't try to duct tape it together in a crisis.
Thanks, Jessica and Eddie. To everyone listening, you don't have to stop building. You just need a process that treats training data as an asset with guardrails. Take the sprint, run it, and protect your revenue lines and customer trust.